Hi, everybody. Welcome to Passion Fruits, a passion project for passionate people. I'm your cranberry, Daniel.
Dang it. I was going to be cranberry. Oh, no.
Thanksgiving theme.
All right. Then I'm your crabapple, Adam.
Ooh. And we have a very special guest on tonight.
I'm back. I'm your black cherry, Braxton.
Ooh,
Black cherry.
Yeah.
Of any relation to Buck Cherry, the band?
Oh, that's also a favorite. That's a episode next season.
Yes. Anyway, so what we do on this podcast. Adam, what do we do on this podcast?
Well, first of all, a podcast is like the radio. It is the radio for the internet.
For the internet.
But
yes, thank you.
We should preface this by this is kind of our interim episode, our 2019 roundup.
Yeah, definitely.
And on all prior episodes, we really delved into the minds of the various people.
Of serial killers.
Wow.
And how they
Mind
work.
hunters.
We are Mindhunter.
Yes, we are.
We are the show of Mindhunter.
And we discover what takes someone from being a casual fan to a passionate fanatic. About
Exactly.
a subject.
Yes.
Many subjects. All the subjects.
So yeah, we've had multiple episodes and multiple subjects for our first season.
How many episodes has there been?
We did 21 episodes.
That's impressive, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Very
man.
impressive.
Thanks.
I mean,
That's-
I would say
that's why you're here. To
cut that down about halfway next time. I'm just kidding. Just focus on Adam's episodes.
What? Fuck you.
We have to do a
More
lot of
model
separating.
trains. More model trains.
Our most listened to episode yet. Let me tell you.
Yeah, right. I'll
Oh, yeah.
share the numbers with you. I know what the most listened to episode is. So yeah, today we are going to do kind of a 2019 roundup. We're going to talk about the things we were passionate about in 2019, whether they were from 2019 or from earlier years, or maybe even from the future.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, scary, right?
And our good friend Braxton is here.
Yes.
As
Braxton Black Cherry.
Black cherry. Preferably, if I had been given enough of a heads up, I wanted to do a fact check for the whole season.
Oh, wait,
but that
hold on.
would require me to listen to all of Dan's episodes again, and I just wasn't willing to do that.
Okay, dear listeners, we told Braxton 2 months ago that we wanted him on for like a last roundup episode. So he had plenty of time to prepare. While the later episodes certainly did get long, you had plenty of time to listen to those episodes. So
Next season,
I believe-
surprise to listeners, at 10 minutes at the end of every episode, I will be coming on to do a fact check, a Braxton fact check, just like Monica Padman, an armchair expert. I know Adam knows what I'm talking about.
I believe,
we're just ripping off Armchair Expert.
yeah,
from here
we're
on
ripping
out.
off Armchair Expert.
It's like Braxton is sitting on a very luxurious couch right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
The Lazy Boy provided. We're donating
Yeah.
it to Habitat for Humanity
Subaru-
afterwards.
Subaru Lazy Boy. Yeah, I think this is probably going to be the episode where I actually fight somebody, namely Braxton.
Okay. Let's be kind to each other.
Be kind, rewind. So, this episode, let's just hop right into it. Why don't we talk about some of the episodes we did earlier this year and talk about maybe give some updates? Like, back in our very first episode, we talked about the heavy metal music band Metallica. And they, of course, had some big news this year recently because James Hetfield went into rehab.
Died.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
No.
It was a
Damn
good
it.
run, James.
For whom the bell tolls.
No, please don't say that. He's alive. He's
Oh,
alive
okay.
in rehab.
We were just hoping he
He's
would
not
die.
maybe not alive and doing well, but he's alive and in rehab. Okay.
Our thoughts go out to you, James.
Yes. So for this section, let's talk about updates that don't warrant an entirely new episode. Because that was the extent of what I guess we could talk about with James Hetfield if Braxton ever shuts up.
We're doing these micro episodes, micro dosing, if you will, of passion fruits.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
But then I also wanted to talk about Halo, the Halo games. So I don't know if you guys know this, but Halo Master Chief Collection on Xbox One on Game Pass and is now on PC. So all of the Halo games except for Halo 5 are now on PC, along with Halo Reach, which is huge news.
What's Halo Reach?
It is a prequel game that was set leading up to the first Halo game.
Is that why you got this super dweeby new computer?
Yeah, dog.
Yeah.
Super dweeby. No, it's just to play. It's just to play Lego Monopoly. It's just to play Minecraft. Yeah, so that's awesome. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, that means nothing to me, but okay.
Are we going to cut this entire fucking section out? Because you guys, I'm doing a lot of yes and you guys are doing nothing.
Let's dive into this section just a little bit here.
I was trying to. Here's what I got. What's Halo Reach? I don't play those fucking games. I'm a bastard. Scientifically.
Wait, who said they're a bastard? Me or Adam?
You.
That sounds about right.
Who else?
That's a toss-up, depending on the context.
I get it.
No, but the purpose for this section.
I've already mentioned it a couple times. You guys just play in this space with me. Jesus.
Just
Come play with me.
Swimming around. I would like to give an update on model trains.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They're still around, still going around in circles. Let me tell you.
Cool.
Have you gone? Did you see that model train link I sent you the other day about Union Station?
I did.
Did that get you very excited?
Very excited. So the funny thing about model trains.
Did you know about that?
Yes. Yes, I
Okay,
did.
so I was
How-
like the 100th person to send you that model trains would be set up at Union Station.
When you say excited, what does that mean? Like-
I feel a little bit giggly in my in
your nether regions?
in my
Physical
special parts.
sensations.
You get a little boned out.
Oh, Lordy.
What were you going to say about model trains?
No, I think it's funny that we're doing updates to the subjects because there really hasn't been much that's changed in model trains for like the last 2 decades. And the funny thing is, you can see that in the magazines that I read, like those nice centerfold.
Oh, hell yeah.
pictures.
Look at that undercarriage.
But literally, they redo the same subjects all the time, which I think is funny. And then there's so much drama. You know how Facebook is kind of this forum for people 45 and up nowadays?
It is?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit.
But you've got all these apparently very angry model railroaders on Facebook, like with a lot of controversy going on.
What's the controversy?
Literally, there is some guy who was booted from one of the most popular Facebook groups for model trains, and the drama went on for like a solid 2 weeks.
Oh shit!
Why did they kick him out?
I don't know. Like he was making like
Me too.
political posts and stuff like that.
Time's up.
But I just find that hilarious. And as we delved into it, it's just lots of happenings going on in the model train
Well,
community.
apparently. I mean, frankly, that doesn't warrant a whole episode, so I'm glad to know that, Adam. Thank
Correct.
you.
But we
have
all
you-
want another model train episode. We're clear on that.
Yes,
right?
Yes,
we're
right.
going to go through one
Good.
for each of the gauges.
Yes.
Yes.
We're going to
Yes.
do one completely on weathering techniques.
Wow.
Yeah, let me tell you.
Braxton is just going to be there in the background going, choo, choo.
Get him a little conductor's hat.
Have you bought any more model trains since your last discussion
No,
about
but
it?
I've sold model trains.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
So you're just like you're a
Dealer.
You're a railroad tycoon.
I actually made a lot of money off of it.
Oh, shit.
I was
How-
very proud of myself.
How much we talking?
Like I bought one engine a while ago for like $100.
Yeah.
Sold it for 300.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
300%. Look
Yep.
at that.
All right, so now
That's
we know.
capitalism, my friend.
Now we know model trains is the next Bitcoin.
Get in while you still can, guys.
Yeah. So, well, thank you, Adam.
Yeah,
That's
no problem.
fascinating. Let's go look at our outline some more.
I see that someone wants to talk about REM again.
Oh,
Like,
Well, I'll just
30 years late to the party. Go ahead.
I don't deny that. I always feel so stupid talking about like bands like REM who aren't like touring anymore, and you're just like, have you heard of this band REM? And yeah, people give the same reaction, like, yeah, 30 years too late. Well, yeah, they released their 25th anniversary of the album Monster.
Great album.
It is a great album. And it was interesting on the re-release, they did a bunch of different mixes. So it wasn't just like them trying to capitalize on 25th year anniversary. Let's put it out on vinyl again. Let's release it again, but it has like demos and totally new mixes of the songs from different takes when they were recording the album, which I find fascinating, and actually find some of these songs with the new takes as better than some of the older ones, which is pretty cool. But I don't know if other bands do that. Maybe they do. But I like old bands that do that.
That's cool. Well, I have not listened to it yet.
As a preview for one of our upcoming episodes for the Foo Fighters, the Foo Fighters have been doing that on Spotify. So they've been releasing different live tracks, different B-sides and such for like Spotify, like little 6 to 7 song exclusives.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And guess what? Dave Matthews Band is on their 60th Live Tracks album.
Mm-hmm. Take that, Dan.
Yeah.
What? DMB, Dancing Nancy.
What does that mean? Live Tracks album.
So ever since they started, they recorded their live shows, like professionally recorded their live shows, and they've been releasing famous live shows.
Got it.
So, yeah, I mean,
they've had 60 famous live shows.
So famous.
Every show of theirs is famous.
Is it?
Every single one.
Is it really? Yes. Well, cool, Adam, and cool, Daniel, for that interesting REM tidbit. Probably one of the bigger ones that we can talk about with Braxton, especially, is politics.
Frasier. Okay.
Frasier, yeah.
Okay,
so
politics.
Frasier they're planning on doing a reboot maybe sometime in the spring.
I had no idea about this.
So
yeah.
It's apparently Kelsey Grammer is pitching the idea to a number of different studios, and he's done a few interviews recently where he goes, there's actually traction behind everything, and you can tell because there's a lot more buzz about it on social media and such. Yeah. There are a bunch of little articles popping up, like Braxton, the article you sent me about why Frasier is so good and why didn't I listen to my parents. But there are lots of those types of articles popping up. So I feel like the grassroots marketing effort starting to swell a little bit more.
And you know what? It's because of us.
Probably.
Jesus, whose phone is
that
on?
was your phone.
Damn it.
Idiot. Also, I have mixed feelings about it. I've yet to see a reboot that I actually enjoy.
Correct.
So I'm kind of like, is this... I love Frasier so much, as you know, too. That's something my wife and I started watching.
My wife?
When we were first dating, just like Adam and his lovely lady.
Adam and his lovely lady.
But I've yet to see a reboot where I'm like, wow, they've done a really good job, and I'm glad they're doing this again.
What reboots have you seen that you're making this?
Oh, you're putting me on the spot. Mainly Full House.
Oh, well, okay. That's a totally different
I'm just kidding.
beast.
I never watched it.
No. Holy chalupas.
Clarissa Explains It All. I'm just kidding. Nope. That's not a thing either.
What about Gilmore
Martin's
Girls?
Not alive anymore?
Yeah.
So it's like, are you going to have the dynamic?
Yeah, they ended it so well with Frasier flying off to Chicago, correct? I think
so, yeah.
But to your point, because what's been like Will and Grace is rebooted, and like the episodes are funny,
yeah,
but it's not as novel, as the original series was.
And the other thing that am having a hard time with is I think I kind of hate Kelsey Grammer
because he's not a wonderful person.
Other than Frasier, it's like I think he's kind of a douche.
Yeah.
But in Frasier, he's wonderful. But I think everywhere else, I just hate him.
Interesting.
He's, given your political affiliations, Braxton, he donated to the Trump campaign.
Oh
no!
God. He's lifelong conservative, and this is through supported the original Bush, Bush W, for both campaigns.
Yes.
So I mean, there was he was full on with Romney. Back when Obama was originally going on, and he was McCain supporter too. So I mean, he definitely conservative. Unfortunately, that didn't come. I wouldn't say fortunately, but it definitely didn't come across in the TV show.
Yeah,
but there was that's been noted multiple times.
Braxton, did you like the Roseanne reboot? Is that the one? The other one that
I
you
really
enjoy?
support Roseanne.
I knew it.
Or the Gilmore Girls reboot.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Lorelai. Isn't that one of the girls on there?
Yes.
If you're on the road, feeling lonely, and so cold.
I had never watched Roseanne when it first came out.
Neither did I.
And so I never watched the reboot.
I always just heard the
I
commercials.
know people
and
were
always seemed
excited
like
about
a
it that
Stupid
Republicans.
show.
I'm trying to think of any other reboots. I mean, it's just like...
What about Spider-Man with Tom?
Nah, I'm not a nerd.
What?
What?
You are a nerd. Anyway, before we get into a fight,
Like to that point too, there's all these talks about them wanting to reboot The Office.
Right.
And that's another show that I firmly believe they should not reboot.
No, not at all.
Because they none of the jokes will land.
No.
They can't make
do
that show again.
Never.
They would suck because it wouldn't have Steve Carell and wouldn't have any of the original people. I don't think any of the original people would want to do that.
Well, I've read that they do want to do it, but Steve Carell is the holdup.
Well, good.
Because he does not want to go back and do it.
I think that's wise.
Smart call.
So I don't think, reboot of The Office would just suck. I would be very disappointed.
So in summation, reboots are terrible. Never ever do them.
Are there any other, I guess, let's briefly talk about what's going on in the world of politics, and then we can get into the year 2019. Conan, anybody?
Yes.
Conan and Brian?
I got it.
Thank you.
What?
Yeah.
Did I not?
It used to be a thing he did.
It used to be.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, Braxton, let's talk about some politics because
Oh, man, we're screwed.
the world's greatest president is under fire.
He is. He's doing great,
He's
though.
beset on both sides. So since we last talked with Braxton, which I guess was kind of in the spring, the summer, our beloved president, Donald Duck Trump, is being investigated for impeachment.
He's getting impeached,
stuff.
y'all.
And I don't know if our listeners know this, but Adam and I are huge right-wing conservatives. If you couldn't tell by our episodes and how liberal we sound, we are actually majorly right-wing conservatives. We're actually white-wing conservatives.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Uh-oh.
I'm cutting that.
Cut that out.
Hey, cut it.
Talk about Full House.
Yeah. How wooed.
Oh, no.
So yeah, our president is being impeached, and if I'm honest, guys, I sincerely hope he is removed from office.
He's not going to be.
Not going to be.
No, I
Not gonna
know.
happen.
Yeah, not going to happen.
Not gonna do it.
Not going to do it.
Not gonna do
So
it.
I read something about that where technically, if he was removed from office, he
Yeah.
could run again.
No.
Yeah. It's actually really interesting. Bill Maher, who does Real Time with on HBO, he has this theory that Trump will not leave office if he loses the election.
Really?
And it's kind of a fascinating idea to think about because what is the plan if a president were to say, I don't believe in, say he was impeached by the Senate, which will never happen, but say he were actually to be removed. And he just said, I'm not going anywhere. Or he lost the election and said, I don't believe in these results and I'm not leaving. What would be our plan? There's not really anything in place.
That's been one of my biggest concerns, and what I don't listen to Bill Maher. Bill Maher. See, I don't even know his fucking name. But that is
Adam
also
knows Bill Barr from the comedy podcast.
That's been one of my concerns is just like I could really see him not accepting anything and being like, yeah, I'm president still.
Yeah.
Like, we're a very young country and countries go through this shit all the time.
Yep.
Like, we're 300, my math is a little off, years old.
300.
You're so close.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, I think I have faith that if literally a president were to say, okay, I'm not leaving office, like I don't accept the election results, or, if he were somehow magically impeached and had to be removed from office, I think he would be. somehow it would happen, and
Sure.
smart people would say, "Look, fucker, you need to leave." But I really just hope he continues to be president forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and just gives me guns to shoot out of my dick hole and
Oh no.
and out of my butthole.
It was funny because right before we started, Adam was talking about how his mom has started listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
And
she's
I think
like-
she'll love these things.
Oh
Yeah.
boy, yeah. This is just parental gold. Let me tell you.
I'm so proud of my son for becoming friends with this other guy.
Hey, I was like this back in college.
Yeah, we were in the smart dorm too.
That's scary.
No, it was the dorm that wanted to help people.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, so anyway, they're going through the impeachment inquiry right
Yeah.
now,
Yep.
and then it'll get obviously sent to the Senate once they vote on it, and then they'll have to have a trial, and then it'll most likely be voted down,
Right.
and then he'll still be the president, and we'll have an election that he hopefully will lose.
Hopefully. We wait with bated breath.
I think the timing's all off. That's my worry. I think there is a 68% chance that he'll be reelected.
Wow, you didn't go 69 like Dan would have wanted you
Nope.
to.
Nope.
You did
I
that
thought about it.
intentionally.
I thought about it. It was like, nope.
When you said 6, his eyes lit
I
up.
was like, please say 9, please say 9.
Nine.
Actually, Adam, I have a 420% chance that he's not going to
Okay.
be reelected.
Yeah, that's my prediction. I think there'll be 4 more years.
Dude,
I
Jesus.
think it'll be a similar scenario where he loses the popular vote, but he pulls a number of Midwestern states and wins the electoral college again.
I really don't want to cry tonight, so let's please continue moving on and
Okay.
let's
It's
get
gonna
away
be
from
great.
politics.
It's going to be great. We're screwed.
So let's move on to some of our favorite things about 2019 and what we were really passionate about this year. Now, this could be stuff that was released in 2019 or stuff that we've just been so fixated on that came out years and years before, like me and REM. Would anybody like to start? Do you want to start with movies?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Braxton, what were some of the takeaways for movies this year?
Well,
What a weird way to start.
I don't know.
I have really only watched movies from 2018 in 2019. I like to wait till they come out.
Is there a reason that you like for them to come out on demand or something?
I just am not much of a movie theater goer.
Gotcha.
So
You
anyway,
don't want head lice?
What?
is that a common thing?
This was going to be the prize at the end of the podcast.
Okay. I did watch some movies that I did like from 2018.
Let's hear them.
Let's see. Black Klansman.
I have not seen that, but I really want to see it.
You should
So
like it.
sorry. I should like it?
You should like
Is
it.
that what you're telling me?
Roma.
I did not see that one either. But no, tell us
Jeez.
why you enjoyed these so much.
Roma was very artsy.
Oh, you're an artsy
And I'm an
guy.
artsy kind of dude.
Yep.
And I did enjoy that.
Yeah.
Black Klansman was a really fascinating movie about a man who kind of gets into the KKK, but he's black.
Yeah.
What's another one that I really liked? Crazy Rich Asians, Adam.
That was an excellent movie.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
that
it
was
really
just
was.
a fun, just like go with your gal and just like have a good time.
Why didn't you ask if I had seen that? Is there some reason you only asked Adam?
Okay. Have you actually seen
I
that
have
one?
not seen it.
Okay, Jesus.
Got him, folks. Got him.
A Star is Born.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
a good one.
You love that Bradley Cooper, don't
I
you?
actually went my wife, I shouldn't say her name because she doesn't want to be associated with this at all.
Perfect.
She said we should watch this movie, and I was very hesitant about it because I'm not like a Lady Gaga fan. And but Bradley Cooper is a
yeah, he
Yes,
is.
indeed.
I like him as the raccoon character.
okay. But I was pleasantly surprised. It was really good.
Nice.
Yeah,
Wow, what a glowing review.
I enjoyed it. I also liked "Won't You Be My Neighbor."
So this segues nicely into. Did you know that "Won't You Be My Neighbor" was not nominated and therefore did not win an Oscar award?
I did not know that.
Yeah. So that was
Stupid Oscars.
because Free Solo,
Oscar's so white, and he's too white for them.
Free
Yeah.
Solo was nominated and obviously won the Oscar for Best Documentary.
Great. Now that's a good one. I did
Yes.
see that one.
I did see that one too.
But everyone was so confused.
Hold on, where's my brownie point?
Yay,
Everyone saw that one, Dan.
We'll do a
But-
tally after the episode.
Okay.
Won't You Be My Neighbor? Apparently, the rumor is that because there's a lot of controversy about it not even being nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah.
And apparently, the Oscar board or the voting committee or whomever nominates the movies, everyone thought that someone else was going to nominate that movie.
Oh, no.
And they ended up not doing it. They're like, oh, well, it's a phenomenal documentary. Of course it's going to be nominated.
Right.
Let me nominate this small indie documentary that no one's heard of and no one will see because it was shot in, panorama vision or whatever.
Right.
But so there was a fair bit of controversy about that not winning an Oscar.
That's
But
crazy.
Phenomenal documentary. Made me cry.
If it doesn't make you cry, you're not a reasonable human.
You
and
are-
I don't want to be around you.
You are a lizard man.
Yeah. No, it's really special.
And it brings to light to kind of given our current social and political climate, like how kind Mr. Rogers, like Fred Rogers was.
Well, it's just like, I mean, we don't all have to be like Mr. Rogers, but can't we just not be assholes?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd
You know,
be nice.
I'm not like, oh, we don't have to get over the Mr. Rogers bar.
Right.
But let's just not be assholes.
Yeah.
Let's just start there
Hey.
and then just see what happens.
It's not that hard, fuckers. Let's start there.
I know, Dan.
Whoa.
I've been telling you this for years.
Hey, no. See, I'm the control, so I don't have to change it all.
Everyone adjusts to you.
Just compare to me. I'm a pretty nice guy. All right. So,
Awkward.
could I talk about some movies from 2019?
Yes, as long as they're not about Avengers or something like that.
No, I'll talk about some of the art house movies that I saw.
Oh boy.
Spider-Man. No, one of my favorite movies of the year. I don't know how big Tarantino fans you guys are. One of my favorite movies of the year was his movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Leo DiCap and B. Pitt.
Ooh, Dreamboats.
Total dreamboats. Aging quite well, like a fine, sexy wine. Just red and buttery. And smell like cat urine.
Okay. Wow.
But I really enjoyed the movie. It's a typical Tarantino movie in that there's
Everyone's getting killed.
at the end
Graphic violence.
Yes. So that, if I can talk for a minute.
Just trying to fill the gap for you.
Well, it's not working. Please mind the gap, Braxton, because I'm trying to talk. It was a typical Tarantino movie in that 3/4 of the film was excellent Tarantino dialogue and a lot of just like atmosphere and setting and not crazy stuff, but really cool dialogue and kind of cool characters. And then the last quarter is extreme graphic violence. And that, I'll be honest. So when I saw I'm a big Quentin Tarantino fan. And when I saw Inglourious Bastards, when everybody gets shot up at the end, I know they're Nazis, but like seeing Hitler getting riddled with bullets was like a really visceral kind of gross reaction from me, gave me a gross reaction. And this movie kind of did that as well, in that in the end, in our theater, it was like brutal violence. I was like, oh, fuck. But everybody in our theater started to laugh. And it was like violence against a woman, which was also kind of a little even worse.
This is a great recommendation.
Yeah, I know. Well, but I think, I really enjoyed the movie. I think I would have appreciated it more if I had just seen it alone without anybody there to laugh at the graphic violence, because it wasn't the typical Tarantino violence of like Kill Bill where blood is spurting everywhere, which is just like, oh, that's fucking ridiculous. It was really brutal violence. So, yeah.
So
I would suggest seeing it.
is it one
See,
of
this
those?
is Braxton. See, this is why you shouldn't interrupt me because I give great synopses and thoughts.
It's just brutal, man.
Yeah, it was.
But
You
what
won us over.
is it one of those things where do you think Tarantino he's known for it and therefore just has to push the limit on the level of violence every time he makes a movie now?
Maybe
Because that's the sense I get personally.
sometimes that's kind of what I was thinking when he went from Django Unchained to The Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
And was like, let's see how many times I can say the N word. Just like, really, dude, like, Katie and I got out of seeing The Hateful Eight. And again, it's a movie that I very much enjoy. But getting out of it, I was kind of like, why did we have to hear the N word so many fucking times? And like, so it was nice in that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood didn't have constant graphic violence like Django Unchained or not really so much Hateful Eight, but Hateful Eight gets pretty graphic towards the end. So it was nice that the graphic violence was allotted to the last 15 minutes of the movie. But yeah, I don't know. I would really like to do an episode of Quentin Tarantino with you, Adam, because I would really like to talk about him.
Okay.
Because he's kind of just a brash individual who, in kind of this era, the Me Too era, is somebody who a lot of people can rail against, but he is known as such an auteur and such a film director and filmmaker and screenwriter that he's like, look, I can do whatever the fuck I want because look at all these movies I've made, which is good and bad. But I would still say go see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because it is very, very good.
Were there any scenes with Brad?
Shirtless?
Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's on the roof, fixing the roof one time.
Okay,
and it's
like
just
Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, Brad Pitt and Shawshank Redemption, my favorite. What?
They're putting the tar on the roof.
Yeah, and Brad Pitt is just the tar, and they
Yeah,
spread
he
him all
wants
around.
the suds at the end. Feel like a man, get you suds.
Jesus Christ. What are we
Anyone?
talking about? I haven't seen the Shawshank Redemption in a long time.
Oh, I thought you were going to say never, and then I was
No,
going to have
bro,
to kill
no,
you
bro.
Quentin Tarantino style
Whoa.
for 15 minutes.
Anyway.
So on the subject of graphic violence,
Yeah.
one of the movies I see you have written down is John Wick 3.
Ooh, yeah, I would like to talk about that.
Have you seen John Wick 3, Braxton?
I have not.
Have you seen
I
any
did
of
not
them?
plan to either.
Okay.
No.
Have you seen any of the John Wick series?
I have not. No.
Okay.
All right, so this will just be me and Adam. So turn off your
I'll see
microphone.
y'all
Max.
later.
No, but it's what you said. So I enjoyed John Wick 3 as well. I enjoyed 1 and 2.
Yes.
But to your point, or to what you were talking about, the Tarantino films is I feel like they ratcheted up the violence even more in John Wick 3, and almost to the extent where I was just squeamish for half the movie.
Totally. So, like, spoilies for people who haven't seen John Wick 3 when it came out in
Sorry, Braxton.
June of 2019. But in the first, like,
Just like Speed, right? Is
Yeah,
Keanu Reeves
so,
Speed? Sandra Bullock?
no, actually,
Make out at the end?
it's called The Bus That Couldn't Slow Down. That's a Simpsons joke for you Simpsons heads out there. We call them simpletons. No. Yeah, in like the first 5 minutes of John Wick 3, a dude gets his neck broken over a book, and
Yep.
you just like see him with his neck broken, and you're just like, "Fuck!" Adam, it was so. After I saw John Wick 3, I went back and watched the first two.
Yeah.
and it is definitely a clear ratcheting up of the violence. Like this was much more knife and fist fight violence versus the first, which was like gun fu, and then the second, which was also kind of more gun fu than anything. But yeah, in the theater, I was like, I don't know if I can watch this. It's rough.
So the funny thing I think is right after John Wick 3 came out, a Netflix film called Always Be My Maybe, which starred Ali Wong. It's
The sequel to John Wick 3.
yeah, no, along the lines of like Crazy Rich Asians. It's a nationwide cast. very funny, kind of funny rom-com flick, which I love my rom-coms.
Oh, Adam, you're a rom-com dude all the way.
But John Wick, Keanu Reeves is a character in Always Be My Maybe.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
he has a great cameo. It's amazing.
It is
So
hilarious.
you've seen this as well?
I have seen it.
Wow.
It's very good.
Did y'all watch this together?
We did. We actually watched it together on Skype, and we're like, "Hey, you up? New phone, who dis?" Even though we were on Skype and we could see each other.
Okay.
But yeah, he had a great cameo in that movie.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
I'm going to go watch that now.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
That's a great movie to watch with your wife.
Okay.
No, actually, it's a great movie to just watch by yourself.
Okay. Graphic violence.
Was there anything else you wanted to talk about with John Wick 3, Adam?
No, it was just like it was typical John Wick.
Yeah.
And they already have a fourth one planned for 2021.
I know. Crazy.
Oh, get over it, guys. Come on,
Hey,
John Wick.
Braxton, we
Number
invited
4.
we invited you to this podcast, so you need to agree with what we're saying.
What about Adam? What movies did Adam watch?
Yeah.
I did so. I went back and watched some older movies. Actually, so like
Model Train.
I got Disney Plus,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
and I watched the
Song of the South.
night.
Just kidding. That's going to be cut out.
No, I went back and started rewatching.
What if
some-
Adam said that? Wouldn't that be weird? Sorry, go ahead.
I went back and started rewatching some of the Pixar films.
Toy Story.
Yep,
Toy Story 2.
the random random movie that I pulled out from my childhood was the 1960s version of Swiss Family Robinson.
Oh, that is
yeah.
good. That is really good.
When the log falls on the little kid and kills him.
What?
Is that in there?
No, falls on the pirates.
What movie were you guys watching?
Swiss Family Robinson, where no
Yeah,
one dies.
I was watching the Tarantino.
I like
reboot.
the more adult version, The Blue Lagoon with Brooke Shields.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
God, the hottest. Nothing hotter than that.
If you actually, not to get off of Swiss Family Robinson, I think I read where it was like, she was like very underage in that, and the director was having
Really?
her like be all sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Swiss Family Robinson, I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
When I was growing up too, because I was like, oh, let's build a fort in the trees. and,
Exactly.
like get all these little gadgets.
Crush
and
pirates
do
with
some
logs.
things.
It's everything that like a 6 to 12-year-old boy or girl wants to do. Because I remember my sister and I would make like tree forts and have like lion pit holes that we dig in the ground to catch lions in their
Whoa.
backyard.
How many
Oh,
did
you
you
have
catch?
lions?
Yeah, many lions.
Wow.
Let me tell you.
Cool.
AKA our cats, but it is what it is.
Nice.
But yeah. So I've been watching those.
Some classics.
Yeah, some of the classics.
Citizen Kane. You're a cinephile.
Rosebud.
I've been on a
Red rum.
pretty decent streak of watching some like B like solid B movies.
Dope. Like that bee movie with Jerry Seinfeld where he's an animated bee.
This is how it is all the time, isn't it? Yeah. Okay.
Where the bee wants to fuck a human woman. I saw that when I was a camp counselor.
And you're like, this is not age appropriate.
Nope.
Let me tell you.
Sorry, what B movies have you been watching?
I watched Godzilla, King of Monsters.
I watched that too. What did you think?
It was so utterly predictable, but the special effects were out of this world.
So did you see the other Godzilla that came out
Yeah.
a couple of years ago?
The one that had
Bryan Cranston and
for like 2 minutes.
and Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, sister. Yeah, I enjoyed that Godzilla, but the Godzilla King of the Monsters, it was fine. It was fun, but it was kind of like, could have done so much more with it. Anyway, thank you, Adam.
But yeah, that's just random stuff like that.
Random stuff. Adam's so random.
Yeah.
You are random.
The random.
Holy chalupas.
So as we transition from movies, I
Yeah.
think onto more TV shows.
Yes.
What's everyone been watching?
Go ahead, Braxton.
No, you please.
No.
What have I been watching? I've been watching several things.
Okay. I'm scared.
I'm not reading a list. One show that I really did enjoy this year, Fleabag. Has everyone seen that?
That won an Emmy, like many Emmys. this year, right?
Many, yes, big time.
I think-
You have not seen it?
I think Katie watched it.
Oh,
and I
Dan,
missed
you gotta get I mean, it is.
I got to get it.
It's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, get it going. And I think it's 2 seasons.
I think they're on the second
Yeah,
season
so you
now.
can crush it.
Nice. I will
Yeah.
crush it hard.
Crush.
Like
It really is good.
my enemies under my boot.
Succession,
How is that?
really, really good. Now, the first season I didn't love
Gotcha.
completely, but the second season is really, really great.
Gotcha.
So if you can just kind of get through the first season, and you somewhat enjoy it, the second season is every episode is a cliffhanger.
Nice.
Highly recommend.
I have a couple friends that are watching it and also enjoy it as good kind of schlocky TV. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, do it.
Nice.
Cool. Any
You've
other?
not seen that either, Adam?
Nope.
Golly, I thought we all liked the same things.
Well-
It's on my list, but like some of the heavier TV shows like that, like I've got to be in a certain mindset. And Daniel and I have talked about this a lot of like comfort TV.
Yeah.
Like Sarah and I are rewatching Modern Family just because it's like quick 20-minute episodes.
Get your giggles in.
Yep.
No, then actually, if we're talking about TV shows, that's kind of what I would like to talk about with TV. Because, like, coming home from work, oftentimes what I would have to do for the first 6.5 months of this year was work some more. And watching comfort food TV like The Office or Brooklyn Nine-Nine or Modern Family. So, like, we didn't watch too many new TV shows, or at least I didn't, because I would be doing some work while watching these TV shows.
Yeah.
So I needed something that could be on in the background that I could laugh at and cry at the same time.
But not have to focus on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
For those, so do you all have Disney Plus?
We do not, but you said you would give me your password. Don't listen to
Oh,
this.
Disney.
Don't listen to this, Disney.
Now
I'm
pay
a-
attention to this.
I'm a
Kathleen
Disney
Kennedy's coming
agent.
for me. But The Mandalorian.
I know. I need to see it so badly. Stupid Baby Yoda. I'm seeing him everywhere.
New-
I keep hearing
Star
about
Wars.
Baby Yoda, and it's like,
I know.
what?
I see him
don't.
everywhere.
What? Come on.
The Mandalorian, highly worth the watch if you have Disney Plus.
You enjoyed
I
it?
don't have Disney Plus,
You and I can talk at some point, Braxton.
and we won't share passwords.
No,
What?
definitely not.
No, we won't.
But that, I think, as a new, relatively re-enamored Star Wars fan, Mr. Braxton.
I wouldn't call it enamored, but okay.
Is that
Enamored.
Is that what
Enamored.
Braxton is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, wait. I can see his boner. He is enamored.
Oh God! Don't listen, Mom.
That's what I've been watching. Obviously, only 4 episodes.
Nice.
But
You've been trying to be Baby Yoda.
Yep.
Like, how does one get a Baby Yoda?
Oh, you don't know how babies are made? Wait, that's a whole nother episode.
You have to have sex with a Yoda. Unprotected sex with a Yoda.
Okay.
What other comfort TV shows have you been watching?
season 6 of Silicon Valley
Nice.
is out. Did you ever watch
I
Silicon Valley?
never got into it, but I want to try it again.
It's now that you can binge it, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Because there were such large gaps in between, especially the last few seasons, that you just forget everything that's happened.
Gotcha.
And the show really is meant to binge because every episode leaves on a cliffhanger,
Oh.
and you want to watch the next one.
You know, when the Cosby Show would end on a cliffhanger, they called it a Cliff Huxtable hanger.
I knew it. That was so predictable. It's ridiculous.
Daniel's so proud of himself right now, too.
Daniel and his Jello. And his Quaaludes.
What?
What? Huh? One
Yeah.
other show I really like
Yeah.
is the third or fourth season of Peaky Blinders,
Oh, yeah.
which is very good.
Peaky Blinders.
Exactly.
Have you sewn razor blades into your
I
hats?
have, and I'm going to cut your eyes out later.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's coming.
So have you watched the latest season?
I have, and I really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it as well. I wish it didn't end as much as it did on a Cliff Huxtable hanger.
yeah,
Because
they're good. They're big about that.
Well, they're big on that, and then they take 4 years to release another season. So
Yeah.
it's just like, fuck you, Tom Hardy and beautiful, beautiful Scarecrow from Batman. I forget his name. But yeah, I enjoyed Peaky Blinders as
What
well.
is his name?
Have you all seen the miniseries on Netflix, like The Toys That Made Us and then The Movies That Made Us?
No.
They're like 40-minute documentary episodes, but they go into like the making of movies that it really gets to nostalgia. So it talks about like Power Rangers as toys and Star Wars toys and like Legos as toys and how they became such a major part of.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They have 4 episodes. The movies that made us. I just watched the one on Home Alone.
Cool.
Oh,
interesting.
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Lost in New York.
But
Bring
yeah, scary.
we just watched that.
Lost in New York.
Over Thanksgiving? Perfect.
Nice.
My ideal movie over Thanksgiving is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh man,
Which is a great movie.
it is. If I could talk about a TV show
No.
briefly, a new one from 2019 would be. Hey,
That was
fuck you
Adam.
guys.
That was
That was
Adam.
Adam talking about how he wants to have sex with a Yoda to get a baby Yoda. So, I've been watching the new HBO show Watchmen, which is a sequel to the Watchmen comic book, not the movie. They came out in the 80s that Adam, I've told you to read.
And it's sitting right there on my bookshelf.
Yeah, Adam's doing great.
Unread.
Is it? Most everything HBO does is great.
Yes. Okay.
So that has intrigued me, but the
Yes.
fact that it's based on comic books is the thing that has turned me off.
So here's what I will tell you about it. It is a sequel in the loosest sense of the term. So the graphic novel came out right in like the mid 80s and is set in the mid 80s. The HBO show is set in 2019. So the references, and it's really more of a figure out the word.
You want me to give you words?
Sure, go ahead.
I don't have any.
Okay,
But
perfect.
earlier you were
Maybe-
kind of irritated
maybe you
when I
stole
did
my
that.
words. It really more looks and examines race relations in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in this world that was built and really changed by these superheroes. So it is much more like, so there are no true superheroes per se. So what happens in Tulsa, Oklahoma, all of the cops now can wear masks. So beat cops wear these yellow masks that go up to their noses, but like detectives can wear full masks and kind of have their own costume, but they're not really superheroes. They're just cops. So it's almost more like
You get to choose what your mask looks like?
yeah, so there's like a Russian guy who dresses up all in red. There's a guy whose name is his super cop name is Panda because he has a giant panda mask on. But it is really, really good. I would say that it is probably more enjoyable because I've read the comic book and it totally follows the comic book, not the movie. But I think even just reading the Wikipedia of the comic book could help you learn more stuff for the show. But I think you can go into the show and not know anything about it because they start to explain stuff, but it takes probably like 3 episodes before they really start to be like, well, this is what happened. It's really, really good.
That's an issue I have with comic book based movies. That's why I like the the current cinematic universe, is because I don't have to know a single thing about the Marvel
Right.
Cinematic Universe or the Marvel Universe to understand what the heck is going on in the movie.
Right.
And that's an issue I have.
Yeah.
What's the boob count?
Unfortunately, I think 0.
Okay, I'm out.
You're out.
Now,
Oh, but
thanks for explaining that for no reason.
no, wait, there's 1 and then penis count. I think like 3.
Oh, okay. Well,
You're back in.
Back in.
Well, thanks for letting me talk about Watchmen, guys. But highly recommend. Please watch.
I'm gonna
Please
check it out.
Please support. It's good.
What else have people been into this year?
Chernobyl? How do I say that word? Say it again.
Chernobyl?
What section are you
Chernobyl?
going to?
Aren't we still in TV
Oh,
shows?
TV show. Sorry.
Chernobyl.
It was a mini series.
There was also a Chernobyl podcast.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
I thought
No.
you were hopping around. So
Sorry.
you watched the
The
miniseries?
HBO miniseries. Did y'all see it?
I watched the first episode and was
God, so
tuning.
good.
I was tuning out, so I stopped because I was distracted, basically. So I don't.
Stop being distracted, Adam.
Yeah,
Live in
God.
the moment, dude.
know.
Come on.
Adam's just a part of the go-go 90s.
Yeah, just bring it to centered, Adam. You know,
I'm trying.
We're right here,
Namaste,
right now.
Adam. Namaste focused.
But it was, I highly recommend.
I need to watch it. I heard it was kind of terrifying.
It is scary.
Is it ghosts?
No, it's
ghosts?
based on real events.
All right, if it's not ghosts, then fuck it.
The nuclear disaster.
I'm all into ghosts right now. Do you think, Adam, we could do an episode about ghost hunting?
Ghost hunting.
Sure.
God, please, could we do that?
Go right for it, Daniel.
And could we have Braxton on as part of our ghost
Oh,
hunting
well, I'm on
episode?
every episode now. 10 minutes. Fact check.
The fact check for that episode will just be
There are no ghosts.
bullshit.
They are real. All right, well, we'll check out Chernobyl, maybe.
Well, if it's a recommendation from Braxton, you better take it seriously.
I don't. Just kidding. Any other TV shows, or can we move on to music?
Let's move on to music.
All right.
Music bands.
All right, so this is going to be where it gets real
God, I hate
contentious.
this so
boy.
much. I hate this so
All right,
much.
I do want to talk about Tool's
Yes.
new album, Fear Inoculum. Let me
so
tell
good.
you, a masterpiece if there ever was one.
Yes, I would completely agree with you, Adam. And I've been looking at Braxton is nodding his head in agreement. Yeah, the new Tool album, the newest album from Tool since they released their last one 13 years ago,
Yep.
is truly a masterpiece. Each of the songs that are truly songs are over 10 minutes long and have like movements to them and really get into the warrior culture we're in, existentialism, and a man's life, and just everything. It's a phenomenal album. It is so good.
So I tried to get tickets to when they came
Yes.
here in Raleigh.
Weren't they really expensive?
Very expensive.
Expensive.
Who
if
would
you
have
will.
guessed that? Like,
So-
who's going to that concert?
A lot of people.
Yeah.
That's-
It's sold. The whole
I think
tour
that
sold
says
out.
everything about America we need to know.
Did you know that
So we're
a
doing
bunch
great.
of Taylor Swift fans got really mad because Tool's album bumped Taylor Swift's album out of the number one spot for
Good.
multiple weeks running?
Get a life.
It was awesome.
Is that a Taylor Swift song? Get a life, you bastards! I'm trying to bring bastard back.
You're
Is it
really
working?
you're going big into it.
But no, I looked for tickets. I was like 6 hours late to the open window. They were all resells only, and the cheapest ticket was $200.
Get out of here.
Jesus.
Nah, you couldn't pay me $200 to go to that concert.
We weren't going to, so
Easy peasy, lemon
nice try.
squeezy.
Braxton, nice try to go to Tool. We could see in your eyes that you really wanted to go. Yeah. So in talking about the Tool album, I was looking
Just gonna let Braxton.
yeah, fuck Braxton.
I'm going to sit back and relax.
So I was looking at Braxton, let's bring you in on this because I was
Okay, I'm
looking
back.
at top albums of 2019, and like the major publications like Pitchfork, NPR, a bunch of other places that I trust. I don't think I saw Tool like once on some of these lists.
Oh, NPR didn't have Tool on their
I don't
list?
think so. It's all these
that's a
like
shocker.
young indie bands, and it kind of hit me, guys. Like I feel old.
You are
And
old.
Maybe I am old, but I'm not that old. Like
You're pretty old.
That's
I
what,
use-
that's what happens when I go to like every now and then on Spotify I'll go to like USA top 50 like
Yeah.
the charts, and I'm like, I recognize none of these people.
I used to pride myself on knowing like some of the top
Like Alanis
knowing-
Morissette.
Yeah. Alanis Morissette and
She's
Pink.
going-
Isn't it ironic?
She's going on a reunion tour. Or
Is
on
she
a-
really?
Yeah.
Maybe I saw something about that. That's why she's at the front of my mind.
Apparently.
Yeah.
But I prided myself on knowing and being kind of passionate about at least one of the top albums of the year. But even like on some of the lists, I didn't see the Raconteurs album, the new Black Keys album, the new Tool album. Like they weren't on any of the top, even some of the top 50 lists.
It was all just Post Malone and
It was
Travis
all just
Scott.
T Swift and her gang of roving misfits. Yeah, so that was my kind of sad realization that maybe I'm getting old. I need to. This is when I like start going punk and try and get back with the kids.
I did
Hello,
see that you
fellow kids.
I did see that you rolled up in a brand new Corvette.
Yeah.
Convertible.
It's one of those new mid-engine Corvettes.
At you as a 6-cylinder red Mustang.
Yeah.
Convertible.
You know what they say about Mustangs.
That's a shout out to you, Jeffrey.
Anyway, so that was my kind of musical tidbit. Adam, did you have any other musical tidbits?
Not really. I've been. I keep going back to the same old.
Yeah.
So
I keep
DMB.
yeah, lots of D&B.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of once again to preview a future episode. Lots of Foo Fighters recently.
Foo Fighters.
Lots of wonderful death metal
Oh,
that
God.
Braxton is so
You
excited
lost
about.
me there. You lost me.
No, it's true. Like a lot of this year's music has been influenced by what we've been listening to on this podcast.
Yeah.
So I actually went back and re-listened to the REM playlist.
Because then a month after we recorded the episode, he was like,
That's perfect.
There's a song called Driver 8. It's about trains. I was like, yep. You idiot. Adam, I've been the same way. So when we had our good friend John on, when he talked about punk rock, he talked about the new Pup album, Morbid Stuff, that came out in 2019.
Braxton, this is right up your alley.
This is
Morbid
right up your
stuff.
alley.
Checking out.
It is an amazing album and one that I listened to almost nonstop for when I discovered it. Braxton, since
Hey.
you're being such a little bastard,
Right. There's that bastard word again.
what
Sorry,
have you
Adam's
been
mom.
listening to this year?
What have I been listening to?
I saw you put on the Outline the National album, which is very good.
Do you like that?
it's a
I'm easy
great
to
album.
find.
Yep. I love the National. They're awesome.
Hey, we agree on something.
Oh my God.
Who would have thought?
It only took 2 years.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I do like the National. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not like a huge fan, but whenever they release an album, I listen to it.
It's always good.
Yeah, it's always good.
Totally.
And it's always, I really like it as good background music.
Yeah. Did you listen to, he came out with an album with Justin, the main,
Justin Timberlake?
yeah, with
Yeah.
JT.
Yeah.
And it was called
NSYNC.
Bringing,
And the Biebs, right?
Bringing Sexy Back Again. No, he did an album with Justin Vernon from Bon Iver that was pretty good.
I don't know if I listened to it or not.
Much more Bon Iver influenced than the National, so more kind of electronic auto-tune kind of stuff.
Probably the not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would recommend. I recommend it, but you don't take my recommendation seriously.
Never.
So,
So I listened to that. That
Nice.
was good. Beck, Hyperspace.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I
a
know.
big Beck fan.
You know, it's like the National for me. Whenever he
Gotcha.
comes out with an album, I listen to it.
nice.
Yeah, and it's
kind
pretty good.
That's kind of Beck's signature, right? Is that each album sounds so dramatically different from the last
That's
one.
right.
And that's kind of his genius too, right?
It's
He's
genius. Well,
because there was I can't remember what album it came out at least a decade and a half ago.
I
I was
think,
like, I really
Yellow
like this
Submarine.
album. What?
Yellow Submarine.
Oh, Dan.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I see
bro.
you have a Coldplay's.
Coldplay, I figured Adam might like that.
It's me,
No,
Chris
who's-
Martin. I'm so glad you're liking my album.
There's only like
Braxton.
5 songs. It's a double album. There's only like 5 songs I actually like. It's
Wow.
It's not a. It's like a real kind of solemn album.
Yeah.
The first part of it is just like really quiet
Interesting.
and
I
don't know.
I couldn't get into it.
yeah. But there's some good faster paced songs on the second half of the album.
What are we talking about?
And he talks about riding a bike.
What?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
champion of the world.
Nice.
Ride my bike, go
I
really
want
fast.
to ride my bicycle.
Yeah. What else here? Mike Posner, Keep Going. He's a Duke guy.
Oh my God.
You should like that.
I should.
Yeah, he talks about Duke a lot. I actually have listened to this album in the car with my wife several times, and she gets really annoyed at how much he mentions that he went to Duke. In his raps, yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
It's just over and over again, very
Hey.
obnoxiously.
I went to Duke. Can you
Yeah.
take a Luke? Because I went to Duke and it was good.
Let's take a Luke.
Take a look.
Oh, okay.
But I had to rhyme it with Duke. That was my rap. I played basketball on the team, but I didn't because I don't like y'all.
Okay.
That rhymes.
I would recommend, listening to it.
Whoa.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Blow your mind with some rap rap-ish music.
Rap-ish music, huh?
Honestly, 2019, other than Tool, not a big album yet.
Let's forget it ever happened.
That's what I think. That's what I thought too, Adam. But then all these people on their lists are like, 2019 was a great year, and Angel Olsen came out with a good album that I listened to after looking at a list, and I was like, oh, I like her stuff. It's good. Lone Lands, Adam, which I recommended to you in one of the very first episodes, they came out with a new album. It's very good.
I'm thinking 2020 is the year, man.
2020 is the year for, I think,
everything.
oh yeah, actually, 2020, that stoner rock, desert rock, heavy metal band Elder is going to come out with a new album.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Mastodon probably should come out with a new album.
Lamb of God's recording again. Foo Fighters are recording
Queens
again.
of the Stone Age. God, I hope so.
Oh, God.
We're going to be insufferable next year, Braxton.
We'll have to
Prepare thyself.
Remind me to leave the country for a year.
Well, you can't escape. See, the internet has made the world flatter, and we could just find you wherever you are.
The world is flat, Dan.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's right. I did sail to the edge of the earth and fall off once.
Whoa. Did you see Jack Sparrow?
I did. I'm actually in an alternate reality right now.
That's why we can't touch you. When we reach out to touch you, we just phase right through. Adam's astral projecting. Yeah. Any other music bands you would like to talk about?
Anything that you all, just like subjects aside, anything that you all like really picked up on this year, or hobbies,
Podcasting?
interests? Yeah.
Yeah, podcasting. Listen to this podcast.
Honestly, doing this podcast has made me listen to more podcasts.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have heard some podcasters do the exact opposite. They stop really listening to podcasts. Really? Yeah.
Well, I need to figure out what I need to say and how to actually be good at podcasting. So,
Yeah, you're the best, Adam.
oh,
You're the best, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Braxton, you're the best too.
You are the best. The best guest.
Oh, thank you, Adam.
You're right. He is. We're just saying that so Braxton doesn't feel bad.
So I make more comments on.
We dragged him out here at 1 a.m. to record this podcast.
It's so late.
Were there any podcasts that you would want to talk about from 2019? 2019 was a big year for podcasts. Number one,
Conan O'Brien.
Passion Fruits.
Well, yes.
I just think it's not good. I'm going to be honest with you.
You
guys.
don't like
Conan O'Brien
O'Brien?
podcast?
I think some of them are good, but it's just too surface for me. He did one episode, and I can't remember who he was interviewing, and maybe it was Howard Stern.
Interesting.
And he went really deep, and I was like, this is what I want him to be doing.
So,
And then the rest of the time, the other ones I've listened to, I just feel like it's, too lighthearted. It's a lot of joking. He doesn't get deep enough. I want to really drill down in a podcast.
Do we joke too much for you, Braxton?
Is it too late for? Is it your bedtime? Sweepy baby.
Do we joke too much for you?
Way too much.
Yeah, right.
More seriousness.
That's why I like the show, because it is a little bit more lighthearted. Because on the other hand, you've got like Armchair Expert.
See, that's what I'm into.
Where like they're super deep, but like
Is Armchair Expert the Dax show?
Yes.
Oh, I don't like him.
And then you've got
He doesn't like you.
I'm sure he doesn't.
but you've got a number of other like really big podcasts, like Joe Rogan's podcast.
Oh, to Joe
Joey
Rogan.
R.
But all the even some of the quote unquote comedy podcasts where they have guests on, all the episodes are at least like an hour and a half to 2 hours long, and that wears on me.
Can I say
I understand that.
Can I say something about Conan?
No.
Before Braxton moves on to Armchair Expert again? Silly Dax Shepard. So I listened to Conan when it first came out, maybe like the first 4 episodes, and then completely dropped off. But then recently I've picked it back up to listen to some of the guests that I actually want to listen to, like the Hillary Clinton episode that just came out.
Was very good.
Really
highly
good.
recommend that.
I didn't realize she was on there.
So it was
I
Hillary
need to
and
do
Chelsea.
that. Oh,
Hillary
okay.
and Chelsea Clinton. It
So
was
it's a
really
threesome.
good. I would never make a joke like that, so I don't know what you're talking about. But
Dan made me say it.
yeah, I did. I held up a cue card that said a threesome, and Braxton had to read it. But yeah, I would agree kind of with Braxton, kind of with Adam, but I like the episodes where he talked to Julie Louis-Dreyfus,
Yep.
which was really funny and really good. And
See,
not as-
Armchair Expert. talked to her too, and
But I don't
it was
like-
like 3 hours of psychological delving.
I don't know if I can handle 3 hours of Dax Shepard.
That I agree with that.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. He's very insightful. He pulls information out of people that I think otherwise would never come
I
out.
heard his older episodes were better, but his new stuff is not as good as his old stuff.
Well, that's just your opinion, man.
So I think
Where's your White Russian?
I think he has a similar interviewing style to Howard Stern, and how he pokes and prods and pulls information out. But I don't like his delivery as much.
Are either of you a fan of the Mark Maron podcast? Because Mark Maron, have you listened to any of his stuff?
I've listened to some of it.
Okay, because he basically kind of started that whole armchair expert Conan O'Brien thing, which is one of the, I don't know if you saw Mark Maron go on to Conan after Conan got big with his podcast.
Yeah.
Mark Maron was the kind of like, everybody's talking about how you basically invented podcasts by coming out with a podcast this year that was super duper popular. And I've been doing the exact same show that you're doing for the past 12 years, which is kind of interesting. And one of the things that kind of gets me with the Conan show, it's really funny. And I find, because he has the interview, he has the beginning part where he talks before introducing the guest. He has the guest interview, and then he has the wrap up where they do like voicemails and stuff like that. And while I find most of the time I'll find the bookend stuff funny, like I would much prefer if he did longer interviews but kept it to an hour and 15-minute long episode.
See, is that similar to the whole comfort TV? I like the bookend stuff.
Gotcha.
And it's bits. And that's I understand it, and it's surface level, but I think it's funny. And like,
Adam's all about that comfort.
yeah,
Adam just
He
likes,
really is.
Adam just likes a big fat ass. Get really comfortable on.
It's all about that comfort.
Yeah.
I'm worried about Adam's stress level.
Me too.
Because I
actually.
just feel like everything he's doing outside of work is to manage Adam's stress level.
So,
Perhaps.
So actually, now we're getting.
My name's Dax Shepard, and let's talk about that.
We're getting.
Tell us about your stresses, Adam.
We're getting to the meat of the episode, which was mine and Braxton's intervention for Adam for being too stressed.
This whole podcast thing has just been built up to here.
the long con. Well done, gentlemen.
The
well
long
done.
Genghis Khan.
I just want to help Adam, you know?
What other podcasts? So, do we have anything else to say on Conan?
No.
I will go back and I'll listen
the
to
Hillary
Hillary.
Clinton one is really good.
Yeah, I'm with her.
He is there is a point where I get annoyed when he interviews another comic, because all they do, especially late night comics or other stand-up comics, where he defaults back to the same self-derogatory kind of humor.
Sure.
And I'm like, oh yeah, you relate to all these comics because you all are all comics. What a coinky dink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they just can do bits over
Yeah.
bits over bits.
You
and
should
that
call
gets
in
annoying.
and leave a voicemail for the show, Adam, and say, what a quinky dink. Braxton, you seem to have listened to a lot of podcasts this
I
year.
do like podcasts.
Including ours?
Yeah. And I actually made a list of my favorites. The politics episode,
Jesus.
number one.
Can we preface that these are the favorite Passion Fruits podcast episodes?
That's right. Model Trains, number 2.
Got it.
DMB, number 3.
Yep.
Stand-up comedy, number 4.
Yep.
Frasier, number 5. All the other ones are just at the very bottom of the list. No, the here's my go-to.
Thanks, Braxton.
My go-to.
Thanks for that list.
My go-to.
You're going really deep, just like Dax. Dax is all.
My go-to is The Daily,
Oh.
which I try to listen to every day, and that's the New York
You
Times.
listen to it daily?
I knew he was going to do that. And that's like a little 30-minute, just here's one thing, and they delve into it, and it's very interesting.
Can I tell you that I've also started listening to that every day?
Do you like it?
Yeah. So I know on our music band episodes, I talk about how I'm an album guy and I don't like playlists. But Spotify has come out with this daily drive playlist where they do news podcasts like NPR. Lately, they've put in my playlist. They've put on the podcast The Lead, which is sports news. But then they do the Wall Street Journal daily podcast. And then New York Times The Daily podcast.
Okay.
And so each morning I'll set it up and listen to it while I'm cooking breakfast and getting lunch ready and driving into work. And it's a good 2 hours of music and podcasts. So it's almost like my own radio that I can skip the songs that I don't want to listen to anymore. And they'll like tailor it to my taste. But so the Daily has been amazing this year. Like, I don't know when they started it, but it is very, very good.
So this is a question for Braxton, because I understand, because Daniel, you've got a long commute,
Yeah.
a longer commute.
And-
I think that's part of it. Is like I need my podcast entertainment like in bits, because I need my commute is 4 minutes,
right.
and otherwise, like when I'm at work, I can't listen to. I'm on calls or answering. So if like I try and tune in to like an armchair expert for 2 hours, I'm gonna miss 75% of the episode. How do you do it?
I do it on bike rides.
Okay.
That's where I get most of it. So the Daily I'll listen to in the morning when I'm getting ready.
Yeah.
That's normally when
bike
I
rides?
catch it for my bike rides.
Yeah.
No, when I'm like putting on my underwear and doing my makeup. That's when I'm listening to it, because it's
Put it on underwear takes an hour. Makeup takes another hour.
because it's just like it's really like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So I get my little catch up that way. But for the longer stuff, like Armchair Expert, that's like a 2-hour bike ride.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's me going through Umstead, doing my thing, getting rad, shredding it, but also trying to do some self improvement.
Wow.
Yeah.
Armchair expert. Adam, I would highly recommend the Daily.
Okay.
There was an episode probably about a month ago about the
Model trains.
No. Yes. About the type of music that the Democratic candidates and Trump play at their rallies. There was a recent episode about
Proud to be an American. At least I know I'm from.
that's Bernie's song.
Oh, okay.
There was a recent episode. It was like the impeachment explained as by a third grader. That was really, really good. And yeah, they've just been phenomenal. And I'm not much of a news podcast guy because I like the comedy stuff that I can zone out to while I'm working. But yeah, highly recommend the Daily.
And they did they've been doing a series where they sit down with all the Democratic candidates.
Okay.
And so
R.I.P.
you get
Kamala.
She'll be a VP.
Yeah,
That's
probably.
my prediction.
Yeah.
And
Buttigieg and Harris.
that's what I'm into.
That's what I want.
I'm into that.
That would actually help Buttigieg quite a bit.
Yeah, he needs help with the black folks. He is so white. He's way whiter than I am.
Braxton is like transparent.
But anyway, they sat down with all the candidates and had a little, you actually got to know them and hear their opinions on things that weren't in 10-second sound bites. And I really like that. But
Nice.
yeah, it's good.
Nice.
Adam, any podcasts for you? I know we talked about Conan and
No, I mean we've talked a little bit about the Office Ladies podcast.
Yeah.
How I haven't listened to this week's episode yet.
Your prediction, I think, was correct that they started running out of stories.
Yeah.
Wait,
Because
I said
lis- No, I think it was Adam.
no.
Was it you?
Yes.
Oh, well, I gave
Yes,
Adam
I
all the
said
good
it too.
ideas.
No, he didn't.
I think maybe Braxton and I just talked about it.
Yeah, we
Oh,
did
sure.
because we're always on the same wavelength.
Braxton, no, you guys like communicate telepathically. Yeah.
Yes. But I think one of you was right, whoever brought this idea up, that after a while they were going to kind of run out of stories. Because I listened to a few, and then a few episodes in, I was just like, ugh.
Yeah. So the episode that came out today was the Dundies episode.
Yeah.
Which is now in season 2 when the show kind of starts to get better. And didn't hear, I heard new stories. So it was nice.
Okay.
I will, again, continue to probably listen to it weekly just because it will be something on the background. And then when it's like episodes I really care about, I'll listen to intently and maybe take notes and send them to Braxton and Adam and see what they think and then keep going. Rejected.
Accepted.
You've got mail. That Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks movie. Remember that?
So good.
Borders and bookstores.
Yeah.
RIP bookstores.
The Adventure Zone.
I have been listening to the new season.
Oh, it's so good.
It is. It's really funny.
Yes.
And I think I might actually be able to keep up this time.
It's so good. Yeah.
More Dungeons and Dragons. Stuff.
I just
Well, and
it
so
makes me not like you guys.
the Adventure Zone, the D&D podcast has become so popular. We, of course, talked about it in our Dungeons and Dragons episode way back when we had just gotten our new setup and we sounded like
Great.
professional podcasters. The Adventure Zone has become, they've made graphic novels out of their D&D campaign, and they're New York Times bestsellers. It's crazy.
Nice.
When are we going to do that, Adam?
Next year,
Comic books about
2020
ours.
goals.
So every single comic book would be us trying to fend off Braxton because he tries to interrupt an
Take
episode.
over,
Yeah.
give you the words to use.
Hey, it's me, Braxton.
Here I am.
Coming to steal your microphone.
Oh God.
Hey, was it Adam who said that thing about office ladies?
Daniel's real fired
See,
up
if you
now.
let me,
Stupid
if
Braxton.
you let me do the fact check, I would be able to fact check myself and go
nice.
back to that episode at the end of this
Braxton.
episode and say Braxton was right. Adam was the one that brought this up during the episode.
No, because you would be wrong.
I think it was me.
Let's play the tape. Yeah, so I think, I've heard some of the similar stories that they've told over and over in their episodes.
Yes, that's a great point I brought up earlier, Daniel.
Braxton, it is only your fault that you're not doing the fact checker right now, okay? So quit acting like...
The fact check has to be done after the episode has been recorded and I can actually listen to it before it goes live.
So you just have a very scratchy and tinny recording of this is Braxton here for the bi-weekly fact check. It's me, Braxton.
It's not. It is bi-weekly, isn't it?
Yeah, I said daily, weekly, and then bi-weekly because I couldn't remember. Well, guys, what are we hoping for in 2020?
Yeah, what is everyone looking forward to?
Oh, wait, sorry. Can we talk about video games? Because really briefly, we
video
can talk about
games.
Braxton's favorite video game of the year. Go for it. Favorite video game of the year.
The Jedi game.
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yes, with the
He's
lightsabers.
such a big fan. He
Yeah.
remembers the name. Nice.
Yeah, you get the lightsabers, you go on a mission, you're not in some dumbass open world where you can do a million different things. It's just like, kill this guy in front of you, move on, get a cool new lightsaber, and save the world.
Nice.
Adam, favorite video game of the year?
Dirt Rally 2.0.
Nice. Very good game.
Do you use the whole setup with the wheel and the...
I do.
Oh, God, I gotta try that.
Adam,
It's a lot of fun.
Adam follows traffic laws, so he doesn't break the speed limit.
He is good like that, isn't he?
I never seem to win the races. I don't understand why.
Why is everybody going so fast around me?
That and I recently finished Sniper Elite 4.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you're so elite.
It was just fun. Like literally, it's a game you can drop into and just kill Nazis and
Killing Nazis.
be done.
My favorite game of the year was The Outer Worlds.
Oh, boo.
Boo
I am
earns.
in the very beginning stages of playing that, and it just seems like a Fallout reboot to me.
Yes.
Lame.
It's
So I'll say this: I lost interest in Fallout 3 when I last played it, and Skyrim like maybe 10 to 15 hours in, because I was like, okay,
so that's what's different about The Outer Worlds, though, is that 10 to 15 hours into The Outer Worlds, you'd be halfway done, 3/4 of the way done with the main quest. Okay. So that's the thing, is that it isn't hundreds of hours of doing bullshit. It's 20 hours if you're doing some side questing and some main questing. Anyway, Adam, so yeah, don't listen to Braxton. I know that this probably is not your favorite game, but it is totally different from Skyrim and Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas in that if you get 15 hours in, you are so close to, you could beat the game. Like you could beat the game within 15 hours.
okay.
It's really what you're putting into it.
You only get out what you put into it, Adam.
Yeah, Adam, just like
Just
your butt.
try harder.
Okay.
Just try
Thanks,
harder
Trevor.
and just like your butt. So yeah, hopes for 2020.
I am looking forward to skiing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Cool.
I like skiing.
I have some big ski trips coming up this
Nice.
year.
Where are you going?
X Games?
Yeah, X Games, the Olympics.
Whoa,
You're
shit.
hanging with Sean White?
No, he's a snowboarder, man. I'm
that's
hanging
right.
with Michaela.
See,
Schiffer.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking
Adam
about.
what Adam does is straps 2 snowboards to his feet and calls it skiing.
There's a new Lindsey Vonn documentary coming out on HBO, I
I
think.
watched it. It's really good.
Is it?
It's very
See,
good.
why did we not talk about this earlier?
I forgot.
Adam,
Clearly it was that
God.
good.
That's how much he cares about it. Nice, Adam. Maybe
Yeah.
we could do a skiing episode.
Yeah, I'm going to Canada twice this year.
What?
to go ski.
Whistler?
No, Banff.
Oh, very
Yeah.
nice.
Are you going to
Then-
Thistler?
Why are you going twice? And why aren't we invited?
So
Yeah.
1 week in Banff with Dad, and then another week up at Mont Tremblant with my dad.
What does BAMF stand for? Badass motherfucker. Just like your dad.
BANFF. Gosh,
Damn
no,
it.
we're going because we bought the Icon season pass. So
you get access there.
and
That's very
it's
cool.
the U.S. dollar is so strong against the Canadian dollar right now. It's cheaper for us to go and stay in Banff than it is to fly out to like Alta, Utah.
How about that?
Shit.
Well, Trump called Trudeau a two-face.
Oh, my
But a
God.
nice guy today.
Jesus.
He's two-faced, but a nice
Said
guy.
under his breath.
And I think when
Did
he
you hear
said
me?
two-face, what he meant was blackface.
Oh my God. Well, yeah. Yep. Bad all around.
Okay?
Well, Adam, that's cool.
That'll
I'm
be
very
fun.
excited for
Good
you.
for you and your dad. That's
Braxton,
really cool.
Let's go on our own skiing trip.
Okay, let's
and
do it.
stay in the room next to Adam and
Yeah.
his dad's hotel room.
Let's go up the Appalachian Ski Mountain and really see what the real slopes are like.
Yeah,
Black diamonds. Yeah.
all 3 runs they had.
That's really one run.
Braxton, what are you looking forward to in 2020?
Oh gosh, guys, I don't know. Just hanging with my bros, chilling out.
Yeah. Any particular stuff?
No, I didn't know I needed to prepare for that
Well,
for this episode.
This is the yearly roundup, so it would make sense that we would
Adam
be
got
looking-
through almost this whole episode. He has not said billions and billions of listeners yet.
I know. I think he's feverish.
And you haven't said he had to take a dump.
Well, we haven't taken a break.
Oh, okay.
And here we are at the end of the episode.
New year.
Yes.
New year, new Adam. What are you looking forward to in 2020?
I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys.
Okay.
Doing more bike rides. A new Halo game is going to be coming out.
Oh, God.
And then the new Xbox is going to be coming out in 2020.
There's a new one?
Yep.
So does that mean I have to get it to be able to play new games?
No. So, well, here's the thing. The new Xbox is going to be backwards compatible with all the games that you have now, but there will still be games for you to play on your Xbox One. It will just be different.
So what you're saying is I need to buy it.
Yeah, totally. Right
Okay.
now.
I'll order it. Pre-order. Done.
Yeah. So, and I'm looking forward to Adam recording more podcast episodes
Yes.
with you and growing this media empire that we have. Well, thank you guys. Braxton, thank you so much for
Thank you for always having me. The listeners,
Always.
do they ask about me constantly?
All the time.
No.
That's
All the time.
That's a number one
Number one request?
on Twitter.
Don't
is
worry,
when
guys.
You bring back
The Braxton fact check is coming, whether Adam or Daniel approve
Wants
it or not.
It'll be your own separate podcast that will glom onto our podcast. Braxton, do you want to promote your own little shit for something? Like your own comedy pot show that you're doing? You're going to be
Yeah.
at the ArcLight soon?
I'm going to roll that out on a separate episode.
Nice, cool,
Yeah,
cool,
but
cool,
no,
cool.
I'm not currently promoting some. I'm just coming out of here
Left
for
field.
just for the generosity of my heart.
Head full of steam.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. No, I'm not pimping anything tonight.
I'm going to pimp something really quick, Adam. We forgot to mention it on our last episode before our season break, but we have a survey out. We would very much like our listeners to answer some survey questions.
I filled it out.
You did, and I appreciate it, but we didn't announce it in a podcast episode, so not many people did it. We got 2 responses. But it will be in the show notes. We would love to get opinions on the next season and what you would like to hear more of other than Braxton talking. So yes, please fill out our survey. All of them.
I already did. I told you I already did. So you don't need to tell me twice.
I keep forgetting that you're our biggest fan. Adam, we can be found on multiple social media platforms
we can
at
all on the social medias.
Adam gets this right about 50% of the time.
No, not
Braxton
even.
fact check.
We can be found at Twitter at.
Oh no, this is the bad one.
See, this is why I do it first. All right, I'm just gonna say we can be found on Twitter at PassionFruitsP2. It's PassionFruitsP2. Just search Passion Fruits Podcast. Username PassionFruitsP2. All right, Adam. Instagram.
Passion Fruits Podcast.
And Facebook.
Passion Fruits Podcast.
And if you would love to just email us, maybe we should get a P.O. box set up so people can send us souvenirs. And
I like that.
Postcards, like you send us a postcard from Canada.
Or a love letter from jail.
Yeah, we're
oh God, yes, that's an untapped market.
we're very popular in Folsom Prison.
Death row. You can email us at passionfruitspodcast@gmail.com.
When is it going to be Passion Fruits Podcast at passionfruitspodcast.com?
We got to get a WordPress or a Squarespace for that.
Let's work on that.
2020, moving forward. I am on Instagram and Twitter at Dan is in the radio. Please don't sell me jeans.
And I'm on Instagram and Twitter at adam.tay.
Please don't sell him jeans.
Or something like that.
Braxton, would you like to say our famous outro? Please just don't yell into the microphone very loudly.
What is the outro?
You're our biggest fan. You don't know the damn outro? What the hell, dude?
It's something about billions
what
of listeners.
The fuck?
Adam took a dump.
Get the hell out of
What?
here. Bye.